on the TingZzZz podcast with Sakani and my sister Ashe, where we talk to upcoming creatives in and about Pan-Africa. Remember to subscribe to check out our next episode.
And now tune in for our upcoming creative.
So this is our podcast, TingZzZ, hosted by myself, Sakani, and usually we have my sister Ashe with us, but today it is going to be myself, and we have Shanell with us, and she is a Black business owner of All Things Pretty, and I'm going to let her explain exactly what she does and how she utilizes her business. Shanell?
Okay, so pretty much, hi, I'm Shanell. I am the CEO, owner of All Things Pretty, and it's Tings, like in Ting with 4 Z's. All Things Pretty is a mobile girls glam spa that basically we can transform any location into a relaxing, luxurious spa experience for little girls. We pamper what we call our glam girls and celebrate their special day, leaving them with some unforgettable memories about what they've done in our spa and so on and so forth. Not only do we promote self-care and like promote glamming yourself up, but we also promote personal development as well and self-reflection through visualizing themselves being pretty and both internally and externally. That way we give the girls a boost of confidence and self-esteem by the end of our experience.
That sounds amazing. I feel like I wish I had that. When I was growing up, I would have definitely asked for one of my parties to be like that. What made you want to start this business?
So I had my first daughter when I was 17. And ever since I had my daughter, my mom used to tell me, your children always make a statement for you. So from then on out, I've always believed in my brain that every time we had to go somewhere, my child could not be out of place ever, like ever. Okay. And that kind of just stuck with me. Gosh. And like literally, I've had 3 other kids since my first one, and literally my kids do not go out the house looking out of place. And initially I thought it was just like weird. It was like a thing for me, and everybody just like, I just thought it was like weird to other people. But as I grow now and I'm more of an adult now, I see what my mom meant by that. Like, your kids make a statement for you, and if you send your kids out looking any kind of way, then people can make an assumption that that's how you are. That's how your kids look any kind of way. People can make a huge assumption that that's who you are, right? And aside from that, just from them looking pretty all the time, and once you look good, you feel good, right? So I always made it a point to make my kids look good so that they can feel good about themselves, feel good, just all around, As far as like the glam and everything, it's just, I don't know how else to put it besides it's just me. Like,
right.
I literally like once I launched my business and everybody started seeing pictures and, just everything, like the whole setup, it literally screams Shanell. Like, okay. All of my friends, if they were to describe me, they would literally just be like, just go look at her business page, because that's just who she is. And it literally is exactly that. Like, I literally made a business of who I am as a person, and it really reflects me as a person, down to like the nurturing of everything, and down to like I have a mantra. I'll share my mantra with you guys later, but just down to every aspect. I specifically picked the colors because of the color meanings, and just like down to every specific of the business, it just literally just screams Shanell.
So you would say this is basically a reflection of yourself in the business?
Can you repeat that?
It's like your business is a reflection of you, or it is you.
Absolutely. It is. My business is literally a reflection of me in business form.
Okay, so would you say when someone may be thinking about starting a business that it's important to put yourself into it, or something, to be passionate about what it is that you want to do?
Absolutely. I would say if anyone's starting a business, I would say it's something you have to truly be passionate about. It took me a while to get here. I've worked in insurance all of my entire life,
Okay.
pretty much. And I would say I literally decided that just wasn't for me anymore. I was unhappy. I was traveling an hour to work, hour back every day. I wasn't getting my time home with my children. And I just made up in my mind one day, like, something has to change.
Right.
I just recently had a new baby, and that pushed me a lot to say something has to change.
You said something had to change. And so what
Yeah.
compelled you to make this shift?
So, like I said, I recently just had a baby. Well, she's a year now.
Mm-hmm.
But when I thought about it, I sat down and thought about just everything, looking for a babysitter, trying to get childcare, and all of these different aspects of life. It's like you're going to work a 9 to 5. You don't get time as it is, with your child after you've had the child, and so on and so forth. And then you have to pay the daycare or babysitter or whoever to take care of your child. And it's outrageous. Like the cost of daycare nowadays is absolutely insane.
Right.
Like there's a daycare that's in my building where I used to work. And I went down there, because I knew I was having a baby, and I went to just go check, what would the rates be, just because I would want her to be close to me in the event of something happening. Like I said, I travel an hour to work every day. I can't be an hour away from her. God forbid something happened. I got to hop on a train and get to her as quick as possible. So my thing was, okay, well, if I'm going to go back to work, let me try to have her somewhere close to me so that in the event something happens, I can get to her. I have access to her. So there was a childcare place in my building, and I went there to try to see, what the cost would be for childcare. Do you know they told me it was $3,500 for the month?
How isn't that someone's salary? Like a monthly?
Girl, I said, you know what? In that case, I'm done.
Okay. So when someone is thinking about, okay, the cost of becoming a business owner and putting up my own money to start this venture, and they're wavering, what would you tell them?
I would say go with what your heart says. I truly, like I said, I've not ever been the type to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go start a business and I'm just gonna be this entrepreneur. And I've always been down for the 9 to 5. I've always worked since I was 14. I've literally worked since I was 14. I've never not had a job. I've always been the 9 to 5 type of girl, corporate America kind of girl. Like I've always been that. But when I realized that I truly wasn't happy in my job, like I worked in insurance, like I said, for years, since I was maybe 21. Okay. Maybe a little earlier, between 20 and 21, I started working for insurance. And I've traveled for work. Like I've been to Arizona, I've been to Chicago, I've been, a couple of different places traveling, business travel, and so on and so forth. But it just wasn't me. Like, yes, the money was good, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do. Like, it didn't make me happy. It aggravated me every time I had to get up every morning to get ready to get on the train. And my only peace was getting on the train and riding to work and riding back home. Like, aside from having to come home and then having to deal with my kids and then doing homework and so on and so forth, literally going on the train was my only peace. I would get to work, I would be aggravated. And not to say that my job wasn't good, because my job was really good. They were very lenient. I got to work from home from time to time, but it literally just wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. Like I didn't feel good about what I was doing within myself.
Right. I feel like a lot of people feel that way, especially those that I have spoken with on my podcast, outside my podcast. And I guess the question I want to ask you is, what is like the mental hardship or just your personal, I guess, take on between having a 9 to 5 and working on your own business? Like, what would you say is the difference between the difficulties that you face?
So the difficulties to me is working a 9 to 5, you always got that paycheck coming in, right? So
Right.
you have a constant flow of income, right? And building your own business is like you're putting out all of the money that you have, you're putting that out and laying that on the line to hope that you get an income back in for it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that is my biggest struggle. Luckily for me thus far, I've been very successful. Like I said, I literally just launched my business. My first party was October 3rd. And ever since October 3rd, I think I've had a party either every other weekend or every weekend since then.
Okay.
So I've been
like, sorry.
Go ahead.
What do you feel like has made, I guess, your launch successful? Because a lot of people say they have difficulty starting, getting things off the ground.
Honestly, I don't know. I saw opportunity and I went for it. I started my LLC on August 17th, and the time between August 17th to October 3rd, I literally took that time to figure out, do some research. I did some research on different spas in my area, or even not in my area, in different places. I noticed that there was no spas owned by the people that look like us.
Right.
And I also noticed that, what was offered in those packages. And in that time, I kind of just set aside what I wanted to do to be different from them, what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them. I took that time to figure out what I wanted to include in my packages, what I didn't want to include in my packages. And that was pretty much it. After that, my one of my close friends, she actually pressured me into getting it together a little sooner than later, because her daughter's birthday was coming up. And she was like, I really need you to get this done for my daughter's birthday so we can have one for my daughter's birthday. And that's what I did.
So you already had, you had a market for this, and there was a need.
Pretty well, like I said.
For demand.
Like I said, the market was there because, like I said, they have these spas, they have the mobile spas. And like I said, initially what I really wanted to do was have it to be actual mobile, where I actually drive up with a truck and everything's inside the truck. However, or bus, so to speak. However, because of COVID and everything else, I wasn't able to get the bus,
right,
up and running as of yet. I still intend to get this bus. However, because my friend was just like, come on, let's do this. I really need you to do this for my daughter's birthday. I literally just ordered all this stuff and said, you know what? I got an idea. I'm just going to promote where I can come. I can set up in people's homes and it'll still be the same thing. It just won't be on the bus for right now.
Right. I think that you just started, and I think that's the biggest.
Yeah, I just kind of just went with it, honestly. I just was like, I'm going to do this. I woke up the next morning. I just started ordering all the stuff that I needed and making a checklist of what I need. What do I need to start? What do I need for these packages to get this running and get this ready? And I literally started ordering everything. Everything started coming in. I started getting excited. The day of the party, I literally went into this blind. I had no idea how to set up anything. I literally just went there. I had my vision in my head and executed. That's literally what I did. I had no idea on what to do, how to do it. I just had a vision and made the vision work.
I commend you on doing that. That's really awesome. With your business, there's also the creative side to it. So for you personally, how, is it to be able to put, your creative spin on your work?
So actually, like you said, it is there is a creative side to it. So the creative side, I'm going to say, comes in with, like I said, the colors, the meaning behind the colors, the way that, so the colors for All Things Pretty, their color, our colors are purple and turquoise. So I'm not sure that if you know what those colors mean. However, purple is royalty, nobility, money, that type of thing. Whereas the turquoise is more calming, spa, relaxation, those types of things. So when I was trying to be creative, I chose those colors because of the meanings. The other creative part is in the name. So as I said before, I'm from the Caribbean, which is why the word tings come about.
Okay. Yes.
So that's my creative spin on that, on the word things. So
just my Caribbean side coming out. Do you feel like the Caribbean lifestyle model of you kind of have to, I mean, like, things are set up for you, but you kind of have to go out and get your money, or like work multiple jobs, have your own business, is very well promoted there. Do you feel like that was any type of influence, or?
I would say, like I said, I've never really wanted to be this entrepreneur thing, but again, I'm from the Caribbean. My dad has always worked for himself. He's always been the entrepreneur. He's always built things and done things. And I think I just get that naturally without even trying. You know what I mean? So I literally, like, I would say that's where that came in from. Because I really didn't try. I just said, you know what, this is something I want to do. Like I said, when you don't like the way something is going, you have to do something different. Yeah. So this was my something different to do, because I hated what I was doing before. So I had to find something different to do, to see, you know, if I would like doing this, you know what I mean? And this was my something different. But as far as other creativity, like I said, the Z's and Tings they represent my 4 daughters' names. That's why they're Z's.
I love that.
And in our logo, the shape of the logo is into a crown. So that's where the creativity came in. And I literally told the people that created the logo what exactly I wanted, down to like the hierarchy and the Z's, because the Z's is like capital Z, little little z, for oldest, youngest kind of thing. So that's where the creativity comes in, I would say, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds, you know, if I get things wrong, you know, definitely let me know. It sounds like you're creating an aesthetic, though. Like, you're making young girls feel like they're royalty, and they have this sense of, you know, relaxation, and, you know, how you should do some self-care for yourself and present yourself into the world. Essentially, is that what you were thinking of when you
absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, this is more, so my slogan is it's more than just glam, right? Because it's more than just glam. My business is more than just about we're going to do your nails so your nails can look cute and look pretty, or it's more than just, we're going to do your feet so you know, you can be cute. It literally is more than just glam. Like, we teach our girls, like I said, we start out every party or every event with my mantra. Every event starts with our mantra and ends with our mantra. Because not only do we want our girls to give themselves that self-affirmation all the time, but we want them to you know, be able to feel it as well. So I think when I was talking to you before, I told you I tested my mantra.
Okay. Yeah.
So I put my mantra to a test, and the test was, in the beginning of the parties, I say the mantra with the girls, and they kind of just like repeat me and like, oh, da da da, just that and third, right?
Yeah.
However, when we do the mantra at the end, it's like completely different people in front of me.
That's
Like they say it loud and proud. Like after they've gotten their nails done, they're feeling themselves now. They done took a couple of pictures in the photo booth, and
right.
they feeling themselves now. They
They
done walked down
understand
the
it.
yeah.
They
They walked
embrace
down
it.
the Yep, they've embraced it. They walking down the purple runway, and they've done all of these things, and now they feeling themselves. And now when we go back to say the mantra to close the party out, it's like completely different people in front of me than what we started with.
Okay.
And it like amazes me every single time.
Okay.
And I did it initially with younger girls, right?
Okay.
This past Friday, I had a party which was teenage girls. And, teenage girls can be a little different. So we did it this Friday with the teenage girls, and it was exactly the same result. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so crazy. And it was awesome. Another thing in the creativity spectrum that I forgot to mention is that I have a mirror at every party, and the mirror is there for self-reflection. And I always have a mirror at every party because when we start the party, like I said, we do the mantra, but I have the girls stand in front of the mirror and say the mantra so that they can see themselves and it reflects back onto them.
Wow.
What we're speaking.
That's empowering. I kind of want to shift a little bit into your thoughts on the Black Lives Matter movement and what happens within the Black community. Just, it seems like you're, uplifting young girls, and I just kind of want to ask you, how do we kind of provide this type of uplifting across the board, or your perspective on that?
So I feel like it starts with us as human beings. It really does start with us. It starts in the home. It starts with us as a whole. We have to teach the younger generation that there's a better way. There's a better way. It doesn't have to be the way that we were raised. It doesn't have to be the way our parents was raised. That there is a better way. And we also just really need to just start supporting each other. Truthfully.
Yeah.
That's a great start. Just start supporting each other. And that's why, like I said, there's a lot of different mobile glam spas out there. There's a lot, but none that look like us. And that's why I said I saw that there was an open market and I took advantage of it, because my daughters have been to the other spas, but there was nobody there that looked like them that they can reflect back off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody there that was giving them the game like I'm giving these girls the game. You know what I mean? There was nobody there to speak.
And you're basically portraying that back onto them, so they have what maybe you didn't have at that age.
Right. There's nobody there speaking life into them. You know what I mean? Letting them know that they're beautiful. Letting them know that it doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing. This is who, whatever you consider to be pretty, that's you. And it's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like I said, these other spas out here are not doing that. And that's what separates All Things Pretty from all the rest of these glam spas, is that, one, we're Black owned. Not only do we, we're not just here for Black people, or obviously we'll do any party, you know what I mean? But just as a whole, I love to speak life back into these kids. I love to show them, you are somebody and you're exactly fine just the way you are. You don't have to be anybody else. You don't have to be these Insta models on Instagram. You don't have to be all of these other things that they talk about on TV. You are perfect just the way you are. And that's fine. You know what I mean? Accept that, love that, embrace that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think maybe this isn't necessarily what currently going on, but there's a big push for like natural bodies, like being like, representing like what it really looks like to be a human. And do you feel that, I mean, maybe because I'm not in this space anymore, do you feel like the media still has like a certain strict image that girls tend to feel like they need to portray, or now younger girls are more prone to accept who they are and, just love themselves?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of getting better, but still sort of the same, because you got, in one aspect, you got some people like, okay, no, it's okay to be who I am. It's okay to have my hair out and let my hair be an afro. It's okay to, do this, and it's okay to do that. But then you still got the rappers and the singers and all of them like, nah, you gotta have this body, you gotta have this big butt, or you gotta look this certain way to get this, or you know what I mean? So it's kind of like a double standard, to be honest.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Personally, I think it's harder to like just, you think that success, maybe like to get where you want to be, you might have to lose yourself in order to
Right.
do that.
And that's not necessarily true. That's certainly not true at all.
Yeah. So how have you made sure that you embraced who you are and not try to just go with what everyone else is telling you what to, what you should do? Or
I've never been the type of person to do what everybody else was doing. I've always kind of just
yes,
I've never been that type. I've always been the leader. Like I've always been the one that just kind of does what I want to do. Like, and that's just truly who I am. And I think that's where, again, a lot of this is like a lot of what All Things Pretty is about stems from, because I've never been the type to like follow the leader. It's just like, well, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make it happen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
do you
yeah.
feel like COVID propelled you into a space where you're like, okay, like I can't do this anymore, or just for me personally, it was just like, okay, I have time to just think about like what I'm doing on a daily basis and what I really want to do and put energy into that?
I don't know that COVID played a part in it. I do obviously have more time sitting at home, more time to think about stuff, that kind of thing. And who's to say? Maybe if COVID didn't come out, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, because like I said, I talked about it for a minute. I thought about it. I sat down one day and it just randomly came to my mind, and I kind of just went with it, and I kept thinking about it. I did some research, then I put it to the back of my head another time, and then I just kind of sat on it for a little while, and then it came back, and then
How long did you think about it? Like, when did the idea occur until today?
I want to say, when the idea first popped in my head, I want to say it was like around April or May, I want to say, of this year.
Okay.
So it wasn't long.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm kind of one of those people where I see something. Nope, I'm lying. It wasn't April or May. So what happened was I did a Juneteenth jump-a-thon.
Okay.
So this year, I'm from Plainfield originally. Plainfield, New Jersey, I'm from. And normally every year in Plainfield, we had this huge 4th of July parade, right? So I was like, well, 4th of July, I'm not interested. Like, let's do something for Juneteenth. Juneteenth really celebrates us. So let's do something for Juneteenth. So I made a post on Facebook, like, who's down to do something with me for Juneteenth? I had two girls comment back, on it. It was like, hey, I'm down. What you trying to do? So I told them, let's do a jump-a-thon. A Juneteenth jump-a-thon. COVID is already in its height, and I'm like, Dag, how are we gonna get this accomplished?
Right. Yes.
So I was like, all right, well, we're gonna figure it out. Meanwhile, we literally had 1 week to pull this together. Literally a week.
Wow.
So being these two girls, we sat down, we had a little meeting, we talked about it. We put out flyers. I got in touch with the mayor, who I actually know personally. And I was like, look, this is what I want to do, and I need your help to do it. He put me in touch with his chief of staff. I talked to her. She got me the permits that I needed. Long story short, Juneteenth was on and popping. We had a whole jumpathon with over 100 people. We gave out waters that day. We gave out masks that day. We had a free icy truck come out. We bought out the icy truck and gave all the kids free ices. And it was a huge success. We even had one of the popular double dutch teams from Newark, New Jersey come, and they did some tricks and stuff for the kids and stuff. It was real dope. It was super dope.
Yeah.
Like, it was real dope.
You made it happen.
Yeah, we definitely made it happen. We had it at City Hall, in front of City Hall. Initially we wanted to do it at the park, but we hadn't got clearance from the park. So we kind of got nervous as it got closer to the date, and we still didn't get any clearance. So we just switched the location to in front of City Hall. And like 2 days prior, the people from Parks and Recs called and was like, hey, y'all have to go ahead and do it. But it was all good because we had already switched it. We wasn't going to switch it back, so which was fine. But it worked out, and it was great. It was an excellent event. We had so much fun. Everybody had so much fun. It was like, next year it's going to be bigger and better. We're going to start planning actually very soon. Next year will be bigger and better. So once I realized that I pulled that together like that, that's when I started thinking like, Dad, what else can I do? I'm good at this. I'm good at doing this. So what else can I do? And then the thought of All Things Pretty came in my head like, Dad, a girl spot, a glam spot would be dope, but I need a bus. Where I'm gonna get a bus from? Those were my initial thoughts, and I was like, all right, well, I gotta find a bus. But then this whole COVID thing and the working and then the unemployment takes forever, and all of these things started factoring in, and I'm like, Dad, okay, well, if I get a bus, then I gotta have money to redo I have to reconstruct the entire bus. I have to get it gutted. I have to take everything out of it and redo it from top to bottom, buy all the supplies and everything to put in it. And I was like, that's just going to take a while because obviously you have to save up for money like that. I don't want to get any loans. I want to do all of this myself from my own money out of pocket. When I'm done, I don't want to owe nobody. I just want everything to be simply profit for me, and either just what I'm going to just buy what I need for my business, for myself, and everything else is just simply profit. I don't want to have to pay no banks back. I just want everything to be solely off of what I have. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's a good way to think about it. Because I know a lot of people like to take out loans or, like the grandeur idea that they want to put out there before they really start, instead of just piecing it together.
Right. So I kind of took a step back. That's why I said I thought about it initially. I saw this big picture and I was like, okay, how am I going to accomplish that? So then I had to take a step back, kind of humble myself a little bit, take a step back, like, all right, so how can I do this on a lower scale? How can I do this just to start off with something, start making some money and grow bigger? You know what I mean? You can crawl before you walk and walk before you run, right? So I'm like, how can I make this profitable and then go bigger, reach higher and higher? I can always grow. You can always grow. But if you start too big and overexert yourself, then you have nowhere to grow from, right? So you start small, you take steps, then you can always get bigger and bigger, grow bigger and bigger, right? So I took a step back. I put it at the back of my mind, thought about it some more. So I would say from June till August. Then in August, I was just like, all right, I'm going to just start the LLC.
Okay.
Get something started.
What would you say to those that need to get over their mental blocks? Like, how did you just be like, okay, like, I'm just going to, like, I got to just take this step?
It was just random.
Yeah.
I literally, because, again, like I said, this is something that I'm very passionate about. When I speak about it, I'm sure people can hear the passion in my voice about it. And it just kept coming to me. So when
Right.
something is like that and it's very consistent in my brain, I just kind of shoot for it because it's there for a reason, you
Right.
know?
So what
And
if
I'm
people
very,
like feel like they have the consistency, it's in their mind, they're just like, I can't execute. What would you tell them?
just do it.
No.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you just have to just do
Figure out a
it.
way, talk to
You
somebody, get it done.
talk to somebody, figure out a way, but either way, just do it. Like, a lot of people, I just feel like they talk about it, and don't put enough effort into just doing it. You just need to shoot for it. If it's something you're passionate about, something you know that you love, it's something that you're gonna give it your all, just do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Right. You end up right where you started, maybe, or
Yeah, you either end up right where you started, or I mean, you ain't gonna go any lower. You still, the same time is still gonna pass, you know.
Mhm.
Whether you're doing it or not doing it, the time is still going to pass. So I'd rather the time pass with me trying to do something than doing nothing at all, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. I appreciate your candor. I don't know why that word came up, but um, I'm just your timeline on things that is very quick, and I'm just trying to think of like personally. I think I take like a much slower approach to things because I'm kind of like put my foot in the water type
Yeah,
person
test, yeah.
rather than let me just
Jump right in.
jump in. And I usually need like someone to give me that push, which is
Right.
my sister. Um, but I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I guess like what I'm trying to say is throughout like your time that you've been doing this, like how have you seen yourself evolve? Like, or have you seen yourself evolve?
Oh, yes. I definitely see myself evolve. For even just like from my first party to my last party that I just had. Um, so much has evolved. I've changed so many things. I've changed my freaking logo like 3 times
Okay.
because the first one was just, it's okay. Then the second one was like, all right, it's getting better. Then the third one was like, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? So I've watched things constantly. Things are constantly evolving for me, and things are constantly changing, even to the point where, like, when we first started, I was like, okay, well, my ideal people I'm going to shoot for is from ages 3 to maybe 13, because I don't know any teenagers that want to have like a girl spa. Like, what teenagers, these teenagers nowadays is like grown women. Like, they want to go get their nails done at the nail salon. Like, they ain't interested in stuff like that. But then I took a step back again and was like, okay, well, what can you do to intrigue teenagers? Because after all, they're still kids, you know?
Right.
So I was put to the test. My one of my god sister, she calls me and was like, "Hey, I need you to do a party for my daughter." I'm like, "Your daughter's about to be 13. I don't think she's gonna like this."
Right.
She was like, "Well, figure something out." And I was like, "Figure something out? What you mean, figure something out? I don't know." She was like, "Shanell, I know you got this. I trust you 100%. Just make it work." So I thought about it for a couple of days, and I was like, "Dang, what can I do?" And I thought about it, and I was like, "Okay, I think I got the answer. I think I might have it." And needless to say, Friday I executed what I thought and had an amazing outcome. Like, the girls loved it. So what that package entailed, and I was like, okay, well, it's a go. So on Saturday, I introduced our new teenage packages just for the tweens and the teens.
Okay.
And it's the glam for me. So you know how they all on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It's such and such for me. It's such and such for me. So it's the glam for me. That's the name of the new package.
Nice.
And what that package entails is they have a DIY facial. So they learn how to do a facial for themselves using natural products. we explain to them what the natural products are, why we're using these natural products, why we do certain things with, how to do the facial. And then once they do the DIY facial, we have a DIY instruction on how to do your makeup done by one of my girlfriends. She's actually a certified MUA.
What does that stand for?
Makeup artist.
Okay.
She's a certified makeup artist. She worked at Elf. She's worked at MAC. She's worked at all of the different makeup places, Sephora. She's worked at every makeup place you could possibly think of. And she's been doing makeup only all her life, ever since I've known her. Yeah. So she does the makeup segment of it, teaching the girls how to properly put on their makeup, different tips and tricks on what different products you can use for certain things, that you don't have to go out and waste your money on certain products when you can use, if you have this at home, you can use this, you know what I mean? As opposed to going out and buying something, you know what I mean? So that, I think they really enjoyed that segment of it. And then when we got to the pedicures, they were floored. They were like, oh my God, this is better than going to the nail salon. Like, these pedicures is so good. Like, I had one girl, she was like falling asleep in the chair.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It was so good. These girls had such a good time. They were very interested. I thought we were gonna like lose their interest or, whatever, but these girls were very interested. They loved each and every part of it, especially one of their favorite parts was when we were doing the facial. We use steam towels to clean their faces. And we explained to them the reason for the steam towels is to close their pores back up.
Right.
And they was like, oh wow, they had the steam towels all wrapped on their faces, and that made them so happy. So, I think just for them to learn how to do certain things that they're not accustomed to learning or knowing about, and learning about their skin especially, now is the time that they probably break out and that type of stuff, and just to learn natural ways to cleanse your face and cleanse your skin and what you need to do. I think they were all for it.
Okay. That sounds like a very thorough.
That was a great involvement for me because I was like completely blocked there. I was just like, teenagers, yeah, it's a no.
I want to ask you about, I guess, your own, like, I think maybe we touched on it off camera, but your personal background, and then just your what you personally like gone through and growth that you've seen. I mean, day one to now.
Pretty much like I said, when I started this whole thing, I kind of just jumped into it, not knowing anything. I literally jumped into this blindly, like not knowing a thing or two about anything. I had to do some research. I had to find out, what kind of products to use, just everything. I'm still learning, to be honest. Yeah. I'm still learning. But the most important part for me is just to make sure that, one, the girls enjoy themselves, that they get from the experience what I want them to get from the experience. And I think that that's been successful thus far. Even down to the parents. The parents have truly made me feel that much more better about my business because, like I said, my goal is to make the kids happy. But when I make the kids happy and the parents happy,
right,
I'm just like blown at that part. Like that part make my heart feel so full that I've done my job. I've done my part,
Yeah. And have you seen any changes in your personal lifestyle or like with your kids now? Do they tell you anything when you like come home versus, when you come back from anything, like they see that you're passionate and you're doing something you love?
My little one, she doesn't quite understand yet. Like my 5-year-old, she doesn't quite understand. She's always like, Mommy, it's not fair. You're always making stuff for everybody else's parties. What about me? So she thinks I'm just giving these people stuff and I'm not thinking about her. She doesn't really understand what's happening. But I think she realized that on Saturday I had my launch party, and she was able to take part in it, and see more so what I'm doing, when I go to these parties, and I'm not just going for the enjoyment of myself. And she absolutely adored what was going on. My oldest daughter, she actually works with me. She works for me because I'm teaching her that no, you don't have to work for other people. You can work for yourself and still be very profitable, and, gain more from working for yourself than working for somebody else. You know what I mean? You put your hours in for yourself, and you do for yourself more so than having to go work for somebody else and make minuscules.
Yeah.
So my oldest daughter definitely works for me. She gets very upset when she can't work, like, because she cheers. She's a cheerleader. So she gets very upset when I have to pick other people, like other employees, to work and she can't. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, they walk around, they say the mantra all the time.
Okay.
So that really makes them happy. My 5-year-old actually says it in her sleep too.
Okay. What is the mantra?
So the mantra is, I am a girl, as pretty as can be, a glam girl, and I love me. I am brave, bold, and beautiful, confident in every way. I am proud, talented, and intelligent, classy, I must say. I choose to love myself each and every day. And when I'm in doubt, I'll just add glitter and pray.
Oh,
And I wrote that myself.
I love that. Oh, that's great. I like the end of glitter and pray.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I have maybe one or two more questions for you. As a mom, like, how do you balance everything, and what, what propels you to, you know, maybe what would you tell like other moms that are thinking about starting their own?
I would say balance is hard for me. It's hard for me to balance. So normally what I do is, I deal with my kids during the day, and, once I put them to bed, then I kind of go into a mode where I'm just thinking and visualizing, and just I go into that type of mode, and I'm usually up to 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, just trying to get my thoughts together and trying to, you know, get my visuals together and what's my next step, and, that kind of thing. And it's kind of hard sometimes on me because I don't get to sleep, because by the time I do go to sleep, it's time for me to wake back up and wake them up, get them ready for school, get them together, and be mom again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would say it is very difficult for me anyway. Maybe I should go talk to somebody and figure out what what other moms are doing, what other moms do, because I haven't found a balance, and that's truthful. I haven't found a balance yet of how to make this work, because my kids don't understand. I need my time right now. They don't get that right now. I don't know why. They just don't. And so my time has to be when they're away and sleep, because if not, I can't focus. I can't concentrate. Like, I make, for instance, like for some of the parties, I had like add-ons and stuff where I make like tumblers and robes and so on and so forth. And that type of stuff can't go on until they're asleep, because I can't focus on what I'm doing. And, so.
So what
But
does
other
your
than,
day look like? Sorry.
you said, what does my day-to-day look like?
Yeah, like when you
School.
wake up and then.
I wake up, I get my oldest up, I take her to school because she's actually physically in school. Then the others are home virtually in school. So I'm just playing mom, teacher, chef, whatever else all day long, until they decide that they're going to go to sleep. And then we get ready for bed. We might run out a couple of errands or so after school or what have you, depending on what it is I have to do. And then we get ready for bed, and then they go to sleep. Sometimes if I'm too exhausted, I literally just go to sleep with them. If not, once I get them to sleep, then I snap into, all right, what can I do now to grow my business? How do I attract more customers? What do I need to do? What else, what am I missing? What do I, what do I need to get now? Do I need to order? Do I need to go take a look at my inventory, see what else we need? I have a party coming up. What do I need to prepare for this? That kind of thing. So like I said, normally the party stuff doesn't come in until later on at night, where I can sit and think for myself. Because if I try to attempt to do that kind of stuff during the day, it never works out for me, because everybody's requiring so much of my attention that I can't even focus, even if I wanted to.
Yeah. And I guess what I kind of asked before was, what would you tell other moms that are thinking about it or that are in business? Just with having if they're thinking about starting their own business, or if they're in a place where they're unsure if they want to continue, what would you tell them?
Like I said, my thing is, you got to shoot for what you want. If this is something you truly want, it's something you're truly passionate about, and that mom knows, like, I want this. This is what I want. Then shoot for it. By any means necessary, you have to do and shoot for what you want. And like I said, I saw this, I visioned it, and I just kind of went for it. And that's where I'm at right now, honestly. And that's the same thing I would tell any other mom that's looking to do the same. If it's something that you're passionate about, and it's something that you want to do, and it's for you, it's for the betterment of your children, shoot for it. Because like I said, it is very hard trying to go back to work and you have multiple kids. It's very hard. Shoot, even if you have one kid, just that transition to move from mommy to going back into work, it simply isn't enough time.
Right.
Like, having a young baby is no joke. A lot of things can happen. You don't want to miss, especially if you're a new mom, you don't want to miss certain stages of your baby's life. And especially moms who are breastfeeding, like myself. Breastfeeding is a full-on job, okay? It is a huge job.
Right.
And people don't realize, like, people will say, yeah, I want to breastfeed this, that, and the third, but they don't realize how much it takes to breastfeed. I've nursed all of my kids, and my last two, I've nursed them till they were 2. Well, this one isn't 2 yet, but she still is nursing. So, it's a job.
She's about to be a new mom, so I bet she would have so many questions.
Oh, girl, it's you can tell her she can reach out to me at any time. I'll be more than happy to help her, give her some tips, some tricks, of what I can help her with, and but breastfeeding is totally a job. I would tell anybody, do it, because it's what you should do. It's the best thing for your kid, especially if you've had premature baby or what have you. All of my kids were premature, and it's totally the best thing that you can do for your child. However, you gotta have discipline. You have to have discipline, and you have to stick with it, because it gets hard. It was some days I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But you got to push through it, and you get through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally the best thing for them. And you can't pay attention to the people like, oh, but the baby's 1 now. Why are you still nursing? Because it's my child and I want to do it.
Yeah, like, you have to know what's best for your
right. If you feel like at 1 is your cutoff time, then 1 is your cutoff time. If you feel at 2 is your cutoff time, and then 2 is your cutoff time. Don't let other people be judgmental because you want to give your baby the best.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell you when is a good time for your baby to stop. You have to know when it's time for your baby to stop.
So it's like the continuous, listen to yourself and what you feel like is best for you.
Yeah.
You put
right.
into your home life, your work life.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Shanell, for coming onto the call. I really appreciate you having taking the time out really to have this conversation. Is there anything else that you would like to add or say? You could, plug again for your business.
Oh, sure. Anybody listening, if you're out there and you want to have your little girl have one of the best glam experiences ever, you can go follow me on Instagram at all_tings, TingZzZ_pretty. And that's on Instagram. And you can go check out our website. It is all Tings, once again, TingZzZ pretty.com. And that's all the handles we have for now. I haven't made a Facebook page yet, but that's going to be my next thing I'm shooting at. But if you constantly keep following me on Instagram, you will see what's coming next. We have a lot of things in store with all the different packages and everything else. This year, we're almost booked out for the rest of the year. So if you're looking for next year, you might want to start getting your dates in because we are booking out really quickly. I'm already got some dates in March already. So
Wow.
yeah, just come check us out. I promise that you will not be disappointed. Everyone that I've done parties for thus far, they're more than happy with the experience. Oh, and I have a PJs and pedicures coming up, so y'all might want to look out for that as well.
Yes.
For Christmas.
Yes, let's do that. I will definitely tell those that I know in the New Jersey area about
New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, all around Pennsylvania, all around the tri-state area where we can come to you. No worries. Just hit us up, let us know, and we'll be right there for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shanell.
You're welcome.
And appreciate you being on the call. I'm going to stop.
No problem. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for joining us this last episode. We hope that it was inspiring and that you truly enjoyed the art. Now, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at coexist.podcast. And make sure to follow the artists and to share their art as well, because that's what this is all about, enjoying the art and sharing the love. But also subscribe so that you can get the latest and upcoming episode. We'll see y'all next time.